In the gi, if you're all playing gi, you're used to grabbing grips, grabbing collars, stuff like that. No gi, we don't have that. So we're looking for grips. So the base of my game is you have to establish 2 grips on the upper body, right? So they can look like here. I can go double wrist. This is a Russian tie. You know, we can go for the arm drag. Establish those 2 grips. Maintain one of the grips, and then you can enter in on the leg. Hold the leg for 3 seconds to score a point. Okay? Is that pretty clear? We're done. So we're here. Lock that puppy in place. Anytime somebody collar ties you, you can lock into this. And you're going to simply sit down. I'm just elevating my legs straight up. Hips up. Boom. Boom, right to the arm. Focus when you're sitting down. Hips up. Then you just open your legs. Hips up. You'll be right on that arm. Just lock that collar tied to your neck. Keep the head too. You keep the head. I can't do it without the head. Head, elbow. Sit down. Hips up. You're ready to do it. I'm ready. Good. Not good? What do you think? Something like that. Yeah, I'll make a grip and pull a lot of pressure up on the head. So if I want to work to free my feet, I got to apply pressure to the head. So with this foot here, it's like to walk it underneath the butt. And now when I push on these legs, they just kind of slide down because it's hard to hold on to it, right? And now I'm looking to get my knee to the mat. Keep good control of this elbow here, right? Now I got him trapped. It's going to be hard to break or anything into me because I'm taking away his arm. So here, if you can, you just take through and get to the mount, obviously. But they're not always going to let you do that. You're going to be hanging on for dear life. So from there, I'm just going to switch grips and I'm going to cut through right here. And now it's kind of making space where I can switch over and get to my side control. Okay. So we're up in here, cross body pin, walk my foot up, get rid of that knee, slide it down to the mat. Always keep this arm up. Gonna take his bridging and framing ability away. Right? And now I can just look to cut through, pull that elbow, and I'm into this side. Got this arm trap up here, knee on belly, slide my shin. I'm leaning my weight over here, right? Get your weight over on this side. Don't try to do it from over here. You want to make room for your leg to step over, right? Now we step over, drop this arm. I got the easy tap. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay, so I'll show you from standing what we need is a snap down, but 100% in essence is just this. Okay, so anytime you can just catch the head under the armpit, your arm under the armpit, and have a nice stable grip, and then way to get Colleen to fall is literally that. That's it. So it's super simple. We're just going to wrap it out quickly from our knees just until we get comfortable with it. So straight in, get that gable grip. So you can see like my whole body turns this way. What you don't want to do is do it kind of half-assed and Colleen post. That's kind of exactly, this stuff starts to happen. So keeping the head in the armpit's really important and making sure that I'm doing kind of a half circle, right? Keeping that chest pressure and really pushing your chest into their shoulder blades as you come down, and I'm keeping that in. So you can see exactly what I do. I have to readjust myself and really stick the chest into the back of her. Okay? We can start with that or we'll start feeding. So you can see what we're going to do here. We're going to feed our other arm. Okay, so I was here for the 100%, and now I'm just going to feed it and switch it. And I'm really using my elbows on the back of Colleen. Okay, so just from the top, that snap straight into the 100%. Make sure her head is in my armpit. Make sure I have a nice stable grip. And we don't want to be down here with that elbow. I want to be on the back of her shoulder blades. And the movement is just like that, right? But keeping my chest on her. So draw, chest on her. I'm going to switch. So I'm straight here. And now I can start feeding for that figure four. But I'm like that's the movement I want to do. I don't want to do this. Yeah, that's what happens. Right? So think about squashing her forward and really getting that elbow in the back of her head so she can't lift her head. If I don't have pressure, there, that's what happens. And she starts to turn this way towards me, which is a disaster. Because if I've got enough pressure on the back of one of her shoulder blades here, the only way Colleen can go is that way. I've totally eliminated, her exit on this side. So just make sure that you really are leaning forward on this one. And then the other thing is that when we're transitioning to that Kimura or Tiriko Plata, I can start doing this stuff, right? But all the while, the pressure with my chest on her is what keeps her in position. And when I'm here, like spider walk your feet in, do what you want to do from here. The arm bar, like Greg did, just remember to windshield wiper that back leg, right? But I'm keeping that like super straight back and keeping her elbow into me for as long as I can, okay? The Tiriko Plata, you don't have to do this. This is just like an extra, and if it gets confusing, then bail. Don't bother. The most important part is that you're near her armpit and that you're, really like keeping pressure on it. This is just to squish her legs down. If she's already turned like this and you think you can just go, then just go. Right? This is just like an extra. And then the last detail is make sure that this leg is really bent. Because if I open this angle up, she's just going to pull her hand out. Right? So I really want to keep that hand behind my knee, bending a lot, grabbing my thigh, posting, leaning forward a bit so that my butt can slide off of her.
I got her. Okay, guys, so we're gonna keep going in the same theme with a little bit of butterfly guard, okay? I'm trying to share some of my most game-changing and favorite details with you guys, okay? So, starting off, I want to talk about the direction of the sweep, okay? So, if I'm trying to butterfly sweep right here, and I'm sweeping in the direction of this leg, even just with widening his knee, he's going to be able to base himself and we're going to feel like we're stuffed. Okay, the ideal angle for our butterfly sweep is if we drew a triangle off of his knees. Okay, and the top of the triangle would be the optimal angle. Okay, so I'm going to use one hand on the mat. My other grip could be a collar grip, an overhook, an underhook. I like the belt. Okay, and the belt on the far side of the hip is better than the belt on the near side. Okay, I get better control over his shoulders. And my hand on the mat is going to move my hips out of my own way. Okay, then I'm going to collect Greg's arm so he can't post. And my goal is to bring his shoulder down to the mat at the top of that pyramid. Okay, if I can touch his shoulder to the mat right there, then the tiniest little bit of lift with my butterfly hook is going to bring him over. Okay, the second detail that completely changed this sweep for me was I used to think I was falling down and kicking with this extension of my leg. And it turns out the real power comes from I bring his weight on top of me by bringing my knee to my chest, and then my bottom leg is going to lift both of our legs. Okay, and I'm going to do a little bridge like this. Okay, so even when Greg resists me here, okay, so go ahead and even post your leg, Greg. Okay, so yes, right, guys will resist like this. By lifting with this bottom leg, I can sweep through that resistance. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and just practice setting our grip here. and getting out of the way. So I'm going to start with a same side collar grip, take a cross collar and use that to pull myself in deep. Okay. We can go underhook or overhook here. I like the underhook because it gives me a second option to the back, which we can look at later. Okay. Once we get our hook, we're going to get out of our own way and then chase the arm. Okay. Then fall down and hit our seat. So if I am going for the lockdown and I want to move this guy, I got to have good purchase on his foot to make sure it's kind of stuck there, right? Because I want this guy to be stuck and not just be able to move free. The drill that I like to do is to try to get this underhook because he's got a good position here. Even though I put him in a lockdown, it's really hard to move him here without this underhook. So all I'm going to do is bring my knees to my left shoulder, okay? Or to my chest, but on the left side. And I'm going to move him with my body. Here. Now I can extend my left hand in and pull him back down. So now I have an underhook. And now I'm going to work side to side. He's going to base out. We'll get a little drill going here. So I'm going to lift my legs and use my underhook to turn him this way. And I'm going to try my best to come up onto my angle here, onto my elbow. Okay? This is where I want to get to. We get to a little flow drill here where I underhook the leg. Now I dive inside. And I'm lifting my legs and turning him to this side so I can come up here, up to my elbow again. If I get posted, that's great. My elbow will work just fine. And then I'm just going to constantly go back and forth. So this is kind of a two-partner drill where he has to work with me. I go back down. Here. I dive underhook. Use my legs for whip. And come up. Okay? Don't just use your upper body. As you dive for the leg, use your legs to extend, okay? Dive way under, use my legs, and come up. And you can just get this little drill going both sides. So I want you guys to look at like dealing with this lockdown. No gi or gi, okay? It's fine. So when he locks it up here, yeah, okay, that's nice. So what I want to achieve here, control of Greg's body so he can't move that well and start getting this underhook. Okay, once he gets this underhook, a lot of things are like in my game are in trouble here. So I want to keep this heavy pressure. Now I'm going to collect this near arm. Okay, I'm going to transfer my head to this, my left side here, and I'm going to base my leg out here like this. Okay, I will grab the armpit. So one beauty thing about the lapels and the gi, when we have them, we should use them. Okay, so now I'm in a good position. I'm just hugging his back here. And the key to stepping out with my left leg is keeping pressure on this arm. If I keep my hips straight, there's not a lot of pressure on his arm, and he can probably manipulate it a little bit and bring it close to his body. Okay? But when I stretch my leg out and I put my weight on it, now it's hard for him to move that. Okay? Yes, I'm still locked down, but the ability to get his knee here is pretty easy. Okay? I'm just sliding my foot in inside his knee joint. Now I can unlock this, no problem. Okay? I don't want to... You love me, don't you? Yeah. What I don't want to do is lift my hips up here and try to take my knee off the mat because he can load me up and roll me. So I'm going to stay heavy, keep my knee down, and put this foot right inside, right here. So again, still hard for him to move. I can unhook my foot, and now I can just easily slide through into a pass position. Okay, maintaining this pressure on the gi because I don't want him to get this arm in. Okay, and this position actually is very nice because we go back to the position Greg was working in the beginning. Okay,
and now if I want to start to angle, I don't remove my control here. I don't touch the mat. It's like I ride a bike. I want to move my hips. So as soon as I start getting this angle, I'm also looking for the collar. My fingers are already in. Okay. So when I get that collar, I'm just going to start to cinch that collar. And now I'm going to start moving myself a little bit out. If I can block the arm, I'm slowly kind of slithering my way out. So along the way, there's been countless submissions. Like right now, I could probably do a punch choke and just put my fingers in the collar and just stay in the choke. To attack this arm, going even further, I'll get right on top of that elbow and I'll start to find that spot. It's kind of something you have to work at. And I'm not going to move. So where my arms are, I'm not going to move them anymore. I'm going to move my body because I know now it's going to tighten. So there's the arm right there. But we're going to do something a little different. I want to go to, so now when I'm this distance away, I can come up and I want to start to use this kind of like a spider guard position. I want to sit back and I want to pass this over to my foot. So when I have this, I'm going to move the leg away a little bit. So the reaction is what I'm waiting for now. If he steps up with that foot to try and counter it, I'm immediately going over the head and under the leg. And here I can just extend until I get a tap. Or I can just attack the side here. Okay, so that's one aspect of here. If he doesn't, if I'm in this position and he doesn't step up or he doesn't act, I'm going to take this knee out. So be careful with your friend's face because it's a face pass. Okay, so I'm helping him up with the collar. In a tournament, you might not be so nice. And I'm holding him up until I get to this position here. And again, under the wrist, over your wrist. And now with your legs, you just pull. So here I'm also angling now. I'm letting that go and I'm going behind my head so I can hook this arm. If I can get the collar right away, I'll do it. Now I do that bike right. Space. I'm always keeping pressure with my knees. I can put my toes on the hips and my knees up and start to move away. I may attack the arm first, wherever I feel close. I don't want to start to doing this when my body's so bent. I'll wait. I'll save that for later. Right? Maybe I'm here and Shaggy now has turned his arm. So I'm not have the arm bar. So I'm going after that. Sometimes they'll dictate where you're going to go with this. Okay, so this one is just a quick kick up and hook. Okay, right away. If he hasn't stepped up to counter it, I'm taking his leg out. And maybe nice to your partner, lift him up or cup his face. And you guys, I mean, you know what it takes to come and show up every day, the dedication, the sacrifices, like the hours on the mats, the injuries. Anybody in here know about injuries? Ever? Right. So it gets pretty daunting, and you know it's something intrinsic in you to still show up after all that. So kudos to all of the black belts here, and Rachael too. You know, once you get your black belt, like it could take you, like I said, roughly 12, 13 years. Everybody, me was 14 or 15. You have your own journey. You know, like your time comes when it comes. If you're a phenom, I mean, from Marcus, it was Dennis Kang was probably 10 years maybe it took up to get his black, but he was 6 days a week fighting MMA and all that stuff. So it takes a lot of time, and when you're middle-aged or older, it's like you have responsibilities too. So it's difficult for you to do all these things. And for women, that's another whole new battle. Like, great to see so many women involved in it. I have 3 daughters, so they have no choice. And so it's great to see. And what Rachel's created here is pretty amazing. Compared, you guys on a small island and you have such talent out here. So it's really cool that she's created this cross training with us. I think a couple of years ago we started at Chilenas, and 3 years. Finally, 3 years. Yeah, some things have transpired since then. But you know, as a black belt, we now don't get graded. Actually, my brown belts don't get stripes in this. But you get a stripe every 3 years. That's how it works. 3 years. But it's supposed to be you're dedicated, you are busy, you are doing stuff, and you're active. You're not like my instructor calls you're not a tourist. So you don't necessarily deserve a stripe at 3 years. But Talking to Rachel's instructor, she's got blessing from Stefan Duvet to promote her to her person. With all the black belts, I think when I was started, there was a couple. And I didn't start as a black belt. But now there's dozens, and so we need stuff that distinguishes us. So it's plenty. Like a speech, right? That's why I put held on your knees. How many speeches I have to. You're not going to throw it?
Well, I just want to say thanks to all the women who come to train with me, and this is really my passion. I started, yeah, 18 years ago, I think, 18 years ago, with no chicks on the mats at all. And I was always the small, scrappiest one getting beaten up. And I just love that we have so many females training. So that's really like my big win. But also for all of the men that now get used to training with women, right? So it's kind of a different game. We can be a lot more technical and a lot more detailed sometimes. Yeah. So anyway, thanks also for coming to this space. It was really a dream that, me and Kate are doing this. My dad was really involved in it too. So thanks, Pops. Really special. Yeah. And like Hank said, we'll try and do this every year. Yeah. Little seven runs. So thank you.